All right.
Dick syringes.
Not fuck. You gotta make me. Well, yeah. Actually, I did. I already made this the title of the shit.
What?
No, I also gotta share it so that it could be seen by people who don't really give a shit. Yeah, we were just talking about recording music and how you should just not view like your standards
Are we
of
live?
yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, so no, I was also just talking about how you shouldn't, if you're a recording artist, you really shouldn't worry about coming up to par with every single session, you know, when it comes to your performance. Like, you're allowed to fuck up, and you're allowed to redo things, and you're allowed to like layer things, and you're allowed to edit things, and you're allowed to chop it up. But, you know, like, as an artist, I'm sure you want to keep one thing real, right? You want to keep that, like you said, just playing your what you're used to doing, playing your power chords and fucking singing.
I played like a glorified like 3-4 octave power chord, so it sounds more like a bar chord. In minor notes, I realized if you just place them the right way, you could turn a major note into a minor note.
Yeah, I mean, if you play the full bar chord, I mean, going from major to minor isn't really that hard.
No, I'm saying I'm not even going to a major or minor like note formation. It's just where you place it. So I'm going from this to this. It's going to sound like a minor.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
That makes sense. I don't know. I'm cheating. I'm cheating the whole way through.
That's
Sounds
fine.
okay though. So fuck it.
I don't think there's really such a thing as cheating with music.
Well, think about like rock and roll and the blues. They didn't read fucking music. They just put their fingers in places and fucking took, you know, booze bottles and just figure that shit out.
Yeah, I don't think there's cheating with music. I just don't think so.
If it makes you feel emotion, you did it. You won. That's it. If it makes you feel something, that's what music is.
You think so?
It's like casting a spell. It's like using a vibrational frequency to like get into somebody's fucking emotional and like make them feel something.
I think music, like
It is
all art,
crazy.
I think music, like all art, is successful when the intentions of the artist lines up with the outcome of the art. You know? So like, let's say this was my intention as a person who made this, and it lined up with the actual like result of me making it and putting it out there. And if that like goes together, then yeah, then that I could call that a success. I mean, it would be stupid if like, you know, like, oh, I wanted to make like this anti-racist art piece, and then people took it and like racists love it. Like, that would be like the really bad kind of irony. That's like, well, I hate my life now. You know,
That's like more like propaganda art.
No, there's artists that, all right, there's art that has been like literally just not like, you know, it was made with the best of intentions, and the wrong people took it up and were like, yeah, this represents us. And the original artist was like, oh man, that's not what I meant at all. And then they're all pissed off. I could probably name a few.
That's why the Beatles made like bullshit songs, because college professors will like take in their songs and like, okay, students, what does this mean? What does that line mean? So they're like, let's make a song that makes no sense. And they wrote I'm the Walrus. And it was a bunch of words to make this sound like really trippy. And
You're
like,
a Beatles fan, right?
Yes.
Oh,
of course,
God.
obviously.
Fuck the beat. No, I'm kidding.
Most underrated band.
Underrated? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, right. Underrated my dick. My dick is underrated.
You wouldn't have electronic music and all the shit you have now if it wasn't for the Beatles. They were the first band to do things electronically in the studio.
Yeah, well, what if I said electronic music?
And like play the fucking track backwards.
Well, what if I said electronic music is fucking overrated?
Well, that you're doing it, so I don't know. That's on you.
Yeah, I know it's on me. I never said otherwise. Of course.
I play
100%.
guitar and sing.
Yeah. Why? You think that's?
I could just take my acoustic to the beach.
So, do you feel it's underrated?
I really like raw. I like sounds from like tin and wood.
Do you think it's underrated,
I like-
overrated, or just rated?
I feel like, okay, this is how I feel. Okay, you can have a drummer. Right?
No, I'm asking. Like, do you think it's overrated, underrated, or just regular rated?
What's underrated?
Playing music with timbre and steel. And
Always
brass.
underrated. I kind of have an OCD thing about electronic music. Actually.
Oh, so you guys feel like you feel like the underdog, right?
No, I feel like, okay, if I play a song and there's a drummer, that drummer needs to, okay, he's keeping the same rhythm, but every beat naturally in nature is going to be a little bit different, no matter what.
You've only ever played like one
But
kind
if
of
you
music, though.
record one drum beat and play it on that same timing over and over, it sounds the same, but it's also the same hit. Where if somebody was drumming it, every hit is different. It has heart, it has soul, it has life. If that makes sense to you. So you can record something and loop it, but if somebody actually plays it, every strum, every drum beat is different. Every flick of the pick is different. Rather than if
Okay, so I
know,
feel I
you
see what you're saying.
understand what-
I could see what you're saying about loops, but how do you feel about when you have like a sample programmed to a button and you have like a whole fleet of buttons and each sample is like its own thing? So then would that be that different than like, I don't know, playing a keyboard, except it's playing all sorts of sounds instead of just like notes along a chromatic
Are
scale?
they just like bits of different other instrument hits?
Could be any sound. Doesn't even have to be instruments. Could be like a microwave.
So
thing.
every time you hit the cymbal, it's tss, 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 tss. But like in real life, yeah, it sounds the same kind of, but it's some guy or someone, anyone hitting that cymbal. And so no matter what the vibrational frequency coming from that scientifically, the
Actually, no,
wave
no,
frequency
that's
is
not true.
different every
No, that
single time.
sample could
and it gives it heart.
That's not true. That sample that you spoke of, how you say like each time you push that, you're hitting a sample of a person like actually hit. A lot of samples are actually synthetic drums. A lot of those drums could also be synthetic hits. So it doesn't always have to be like
So
a
it's
real.
actually a keyboard with its own reverb and its own Okay.
And you could customize it, so it's not even just a keyboard. It's like a button
Yeah.
board.
Okay.
You know,
That's
like,
an instrument to me.
yeah. It's a crazy.
I'm not trying to
instrument
sound
thing.
like a fucking elitist.
No, I want to
I'm not a
ask.
good
No, I want to
musician. I'm
ask.
really not.
I'm just ask. Like I'm
I know
asking. Do you
what I
think? Do you
know,
consider
but-
that like because of what you're saying? How like the act of hitting is like has its own soul because you're playing it. But what if like when you're actually just like pushing, like the same sounds as you would hear in like a loop track, but you take those sounds, chop it up, and you put it into buttons, and a person sitting there pushing the buttons instead of just like letting it loop.
See, I wouldn't ever be good at that. So
But
I
how do you
can't-
feel about that? Do you feel that that takes like actual like you feel
Yes,
that? Yeah, see.
definitely.
So this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm trying to do with electronic music. I'm trying to like bridge that gap of like, like where people just view it as like this pre-programmed, loopy thing. And I want to show you that it's not like
It's
that.
almost like the same way, like, when I was a kid watching, like, in watching it now, watching the fucking Lion King, I'm like, oh my god,
There's a lot that goes
animation
into
is
it,
so
yeah.
fucking good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and now I see like all these 3D animation things. I'm like, oh, it's a fucking cop out. It feels like they're instead of having to actually have artists draw all these beautiful sceneries, we can just be like beep boop boop bop beep. And my dumb simple mind who doesn't know technology is gonna think like that's a cop out. But also a lot of them look cheesy. The animations in movies like The Lion King and Aladdin and Little Mermaid were so fucking like eloquent and fucking beautiful. They were just fucking like they popped out at you.
Yeah.
And then the 3D ones, it's just like watching like the Lord of the Rings. And they didn't have they were just getting good at CGI. They couldn't afford it. And it looked amazing. The mask, the costumes, everything, the makeup, it was perfect. It looked like a real thing was happening. And then they redid The Hobbit, and they used all CGI, and the human brain can see that it's just lights,
Sure.
rather than a person in a costume and makeup that's really well done, that looks like flesh because it's made out of rubber and whatever. It looks way better. I like raw things. I like when it's like I like it raw and wriggling.
Okay, but you gotta admit, the Lord of the Rings had like mad CGI too. Like Gollum did not look like that.
Yeah, they had that. They had to do like that. But it was also, this was like the beginning. That's why I love Andy Serkis. He's the guy who acted and did the voice of Smeagol and Gollum. And he had to, that was his face. That was him acting. So when they were doing it, it was still him on the ground, like, you know, defense was my precious. You know, like he had to do the voice and do like the movements and everything. He had to like act that. And those facial things are his actual
Yo, can you trade
faces.
seats for the stool?
Why?
Because you keep rolling away from the shot.
No, I'm gonna keep the rolly chair.
Whatever. Keep the rolly chair. Yeah, so all right. So what you're saying is you prefer analog over digital, but I counter with like,
When I recorded Hyenas, it was analog.
all right. So what you said was you like, you know, stuff like Lion King, how it was like a lot of it was like hand drawn and shit, you know, initially. What I'm saying is like, now could you imagine like when you take new technology and have it applied tastefully, where you have a blend of like actual handcrafted methodology mixed with like these new technological innovations, like Studio Ghibli films. Like you've seen those, right?
Only when I was with a girl who made me watch it with them.
All right, but did you not admit that shit looked like? First of all, that was
It did look beautiful, yeah.
It's probably that kind of that quality of animation is probably crazier than shit you would see in fucking.
I'm watching Attack on Titan now, and it's like really beautiful.
There you go. So I think yeah, despite the fact that you may say you prefer,
I
raw.
prefer that, yeah.
But I think like it's stupid to ignore new innovations, but at the same time it's also stupid to ignore old things that work. So I think the only right solution is to blend it. That's why I've always liked things like steampunk and cyberpunk, even though it's like super cringe to like steampunk. I would never rep steampunk.
I don't know what that is.
Good. But
what is that?
Steampunk is like this
kitty.
aesthetic that just blends like steam powered shit with like
Is your
sci-fi
cat
shit.
gonna be cool with me?
What do you mean is he gonna be cool with you? He's cool with everyone.
No, he's not. You're the only fucking human he has interaction with.
No, I mean the fact that he's not afraid like to be in the same room as you probably means he's cool with you, right?
Not enough to pet him.
What?
Not enough to pet him.
Yeah, but that's a cat, you know. So first of all, like you wouldn't let even like all of your friends pet you whenever
Yeah,
they.
yeah. I get cats, yeah.
Yeah.
I live with 16 of them.
Well, it's not that I pet him. He pets me usually.
I'm friends with like maybe 4 out of 16 of them that I'm cool with. The rest of them, like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Not,
One cat, Rebel, he's an orange cat, and he's like a big teddy bear.
I really want a dog. My cat acts like a dog. He literally just comes
Do you
up
think
to
your
me.
cat would be cool with a dog?
Depends.
Are you allowed to have a dog in here?
No, probably not. I mean, I know other tenants that have dogs, but they told me I can't have
Do
a
you
dog.
have to pay insurance for the cat?
What do you mean?
Are you allowed to have a cat in here?
Yeah. Yeah, cats they allow because they don't bark. Cats are fine. They don't care about cats.
They meow.
So it's not like barking. It's not the same. Yo, you want to see something fucked up?
What?
I have this friend out in Boston. Well, she used to live in Boston. And when I visited her, she was a professional dog walker. And one of her clients had this like beautiful golden retriever, female. And she didn't bark. She didn't do anything like vocally because she had her vocal cords snipped. How fucked up is that?
Wait, why?
Because the owner got them snipped.
You shouldn't.
Instead of barking, all she could do was wheeze.
That's not a fucking.
Right? It's fucked up, right?
That's a family member.
What?
Dog isn't even a fucking pet. It's a fucking family member.
Oh, yeah, I could see
It's
that.
a member of your fucking family.
I agree.
That's
I
like
mean,
taking your fucking
look,
brother or sister.
personally, I agree with that. But the thing is about dogs, like, you got to admit.
They are. And dogs also feel like they're your family. That would be horrible. Dog. That makes me really sad, actually.
Yeah, right? It was horrible. We all felt terrible about it. We were like, what the fuck? Even she had no choice because that's her living. You know, she has to, like, say, like, dude.
No, you give away the dog. If you, as a human, were under, like, an adoption as a child,
We better cut his dick off. You know, you never know.
They cut your balls off.
Yo,
And
if they
then
did that to me,
they're
man,
like, you know what?
I'll be so much more calm.
Be really loud about this whole cutting your balls off thing. So we're gonna snip your vocal cords now. Would you rather them just give you away? I think so. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of snipping your vocal cords, now you're not ballsless. Now you have no balls, and you can't say anything ever. And then they won't let you die
Because they love you.
because they love you because you're so fucking cute. Because you're like, oh, look, he can't bark because he has vocal cord snipped when he was.
It was really
fucking
sad. It
one.
was really, really fucked up. I was really just
It's fucking disgusting.
pretty upsetting, yeah. Who knows what that lady's up to? I hope the
dogs love us so much too. They fucking love us so much. It's crazy. When we take care of dogs, like it's just instinctual the way they love us. Kind of, they're pack animals.
It's too bad that they die so soon. That's the saddest part about it.
No, the sad thing is a lot of owners are too much of a bitch to
deal with the death. If it was up to me, it's like I knew my dog was like sick.
You hold
like,
his fucking paw, and you chill with it until it fucking dies.
I take a gun to his head and be like, "I love you, buddy," and poof, end it right there. I mean, cause look,
no, you just go and they give it a shot and you lay with it for like
I don't. That sounds horrible.
That sounds worse than fucking popping a bullet and brain.
If it was me, I don't want to die.
I
I don't want to die by a lethal fucking injection. Blow my fucking brains out.
Why?
Are you kidding me?
You just stop breathing and die.
No, I don't want poison injected into my fucking veins to kill me.
That sounds worse than a lead bullet in your fucking brain.
Yeah, because the lead. First of all, a bullet is a very sure thing. I know the damage that bullet is going to do if like I trust a person.
Don't the lethal injections work every time?
No, I mean, I don't trust it as much as a fucking piece of lead flying like fucking, you know, like what is it, like 300 miles per? I don't fucking know how fast a bullet moves.
No, they just go, and they just die peacefully.
Dude, no.
I'd rather be injected and die peacefully. I'd rather inject my own insulin and overdose on insulin than die of a bullet in the head. Actually,
I'd rather die of a bullet in the head for sure.
No, if you want to die quick, if we're in a fucked up saw situation and you were like, please, Bren, end it, I would take 20, 30 years of insulin easily, inject it into your body, whatever fat, just into your arm, right there, and you would die within like.
I'm sorry.
2-3
it's just
hours.
The idea of putting something foreign in my body, trying to kill myself,
A bullet
compared
in your brain is very foreign.
like ingesting or injecting, compared
so
to
not in your fucking stomach.
or injecting it into my bloodstream, compared and waiting for it to kick in, compared to taking a device that literally shoots a piece of metal out
It's
so
immediate.
fast and it just like obliterates the inside of my skull where I just no longer perceive anything. I think that's what I would go for.
I would always think that jumping off of a high point like a building would be a good way, but
No, that's that's the worst way to do it because you'll
Why?
you'll always regret it on the way down. That's just guaranteed. Because you get time. That's the worst thing. Between like when you make the decision and then actually dying, if you give any time in between, that's torture. That is fucked up.
But people say on the way down you suffocate and your chest like feels like pressure. So it actually
No, I
hurts
think what really happens,
even if you're like at an extreme height, the gravity is so much pressure that it's painful. It's like it caves your
No,
chest
I don't
in,
think it's.
and you can't breathe the whole way down.
No, because remember, people skydive from higher altitudes and they're fine for like a lot longer than 30 stories.
Oh,
you
you're
know,
right. Don't you need to be trained?
doesn't matter. Like they're still
I
falling.
want to fucking skydive so bad.
Me too. So like, all right, listen.
Can we make a plan to do that?
Yeah, 100%. I'm down. Let's shake on it. Anyway,
Yeah, no pound shake.
so what I was saying,
We're skydiving.
we're skydiving. So anyway,
ever since I watched the Power Ranger movie when I was a kid, I want to get one of those skydiving circuit boards if that's actually a thing.
yeah. Well, the thing is though, like, it's just imagine, like, all right, because like if I shoot you in the chest and you're out there bleeding out and you're about to die, your brain gets flooded with DMT because like your brain already knows, it sees the gaping wound, it's losing blood, your hormones are reacting to your like imminent death, and it gives you a nice nice little like a trip send off, right? But if
No,
you
it's probably painful and your adrenaline's going up
and your fear, yeah,
slowly
but you still get
getting
high.
more and more painful.
But you
No,
still get
rolling
high.
your chest is
No,
horribly
no, you
painful.
still get high. You still fucking get high. But the thing is, when you jump off a high point, that is when you're still in fight or flight mode. Yeah, your death is imminent, but like nothing like actually damaged your internal organs or anything. So your brain's still in that moment of fight or flight. So
What if I can grab onto something? Like the 99999.1%, like whatever.
maybe go for it.
Like I might not die.
I would just go for my belt. Try to take your belt off and use it as like a, you know.
Well, that's why they say like drowning is like the worst. But once you and get that your lungs collapse,
Yeah, you
from
black
the
out.
water,
You black out and
you
die.
go into like bliss mode.
Asphyxiation,
Because
death.
Your brain is like, there's no way out. Let's be happy. Yeah, just fucking. I don't know.
Yep. Death. Imminent death.
It's pounding. Police sirens. New York.
Oh my god. I know how I'm gonna die. I think someone's like literally gonna kill me.
Diabetes is probably gonna kill me.
Someone's definitely gonna fucking kill me. Someone's gonna get so tired of my shit. They're just gonna fucking.
Not just me, but it's like some crazy circumstance.
I would never let you kill me.
It's gonna be like some like crazy kung fu movie shit. Like
Yeah. It could honestly,
Why?
it could honestly be insane. Like I'm saying, like I would never let you kill me, and then like all of a sudden, like the next day, like there's like martial law because Russia invades like the eastern coast of America, and then we're just like everyone is
why
mad
isn't
for
Brendan hitting this joint? And all of a sudden you just collapse.
There you go.
And I just like slice your throat up.
Oh come
You
on.
should have never let me roll that one.
You never roll. You're too lazy.
I know.
You never roll.
You, that one time I asked and you're like, yo, go ahead, Bren. And I'm like challenging you. I'm like, yeah, I can roll better than you. And you're like, yeah, do it. And I practiced for months just so I can roll this one joint with just enough of that fucking poison.
But if you talk yourself
and
up,
I talk you into hitting that first hit and you smoke that poison and you collapse and die.
but if you talk yourself up, I'm gonna be watching you the whole time, like rolling it up.
Yeah. You're not going to notice. I practice. Anyone can be sneaky.
No, I mean, are you gonna be putting poison in it, or is it poison weed from the jump?
It's poison in it. So you're going to notice?
Yeah, so it has to be poison in it from the beginning.
Maybe, yeah.
You can't slip it in front of me. I'll
This
notice
is
it.
not going to actually ever be a scenario, so I'm not going to think that hard into it.
I mean, honestly, there's like so many other.
Anyone can poison someone, right? Like, if you really want to kill someone, it's not hard to kill a person. It's so easy.
Yeah.
Like, you can kill yourself very easily. You can just take a sharp knife and go and just, like, wait a couple minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
You can inject too much insulin. You can take a bunch of pills. It's so easy to die. But we don't. We don't do it.
We don't what? We don't kill
try our
people?
best to protect other people's and our lives. It's crazy. You can slip in the shower and go boom, and just it's a slippery slope. You gotta put that shower. Once you get older, you gotta make sure you have a good shower mat. It's very important.
Yeah, when
You
you're
can
older.
slip and just bang on the fucking sharp fucking faucet or some shit like that, and just you're done for.
Yeah.
You're just a little fleshy pile of blood.
Well, the thing is, I don't know.
You
I mean,
slice yourself a little bit, just fucking blood everywhere. It's crazy. You're so vulnerable.
yeah, that's
This cat right here can fuck your shit up.
right. Whatever. Yeah, the cat could kill me. Sure. I wish, if there was, you know, it'd be awesome if there were like dog-sized cats.
Oh yeah, there are, but they're kind of expensive.
Yeah.
I forgot what they're called.
Maine Coons.
Maine Coons, yes. Or I guess the biggest ones can be like a size of like a little bit more than like a toy dog, maybe. It's not gonna be the size of even a Labrador.
I've held a big ass cat before, like a huge cat, big fucking cat.
You said what?
I held one. Like a big fucking
How many
cat.
pounds was it?
I don't know. I'll find a picture of it, but I'll show you. Anyway, so what do you prefer? Like dogs or cats?
I like them both for different reasons.
Because you live with both, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're closer
right
with.
now, cats because my room's small,
Yeah.
and there's 2 dogs. I just can't have a dog in my room.
Why not? Oh yeah, because it'll fuck
I
everything
have
you
one,
own
like,
up.
cat named Rebel. He's an orange cat. And he's just like, he's so chill.
Yeah, I think
He
you've
just
talked
comes
about.
into my room, and I just like lay with him, and he just hangs out with me.
You've talked about Rebel, your little boy,
Yeah. Oh, I love Rebel.
Rebellion. That's what he is.
He's not that rebellious. That's just his name. I don't know. I didn't name any of the cats.
No?
No. The old mom's cats.
Oh fuck. So you said you'd be eating good at this new job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had some pasta today. Some carrots with string beans and with garlic, salt, and pepper. And, some tofu. With
You know what you should do next
tofu
time?
with some sautéed onions and
Next time you know I'm hanging out with
bell
you after
peppers.
work, just put some food in your pocket. Just save it for me. You know, like, yo, I got you some
I'm
tater
on 90
tots.
day probation, no.
What?
I'm on 90-day probation.
Oh yeah, you still got that shit. But you're being a good little boy, right? A good little Bren.
I am.
Yeah.
I don't want to fuck it up.
Of course not. You don't want to fuck shit up.
No.
Yo, you want to throw in some weed and I'll roll a jizzity joint.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'll throw in some weed with you if you
Smoking
want.
dope.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait. Where do you keep the weed?
What do you mean?
No, just forget it. I got weed. I got it.
I have weed.
No, if it means you have to walk off away from the mic,
No, it's in the bag right next to me.
I'm not gonna allow you walking away from this microphone. We gotta provide. We need to provide the content.
Joe Rifad.
Yeah. So all right, so news. All right, so I recently, I guess I could gloss over this, but I've just been taking this like online Google certification on digital marketing. Hopefully I'll complete that and utilize the skills I gain from it for the things that I do. But otherwise, I got a cool $900 fucking printer. And that's pretty crazy. That's pretty epic. You know, like I'm gonna use this printer to print out stickers, and I also spent a couple $100 on a fucking electronic sticker cutter, and that's going to let me cut those stickers into the the sticker sheets into the shapes that I want, and I could just sell it. And hopefully this will be a nice little hobby / side hustle. You know, I could get my little creative bits out. Just make some nice little one-of-a-kind stickers and sell them on Etsy. So that's some news. What about you? You got any news about your penis?
My penis. Well, I just got medication in the mail to where I'm supposed to, if I want to get a hard on, I just inject this shit into my dick.
So it's like an instant hard-on?
Takes a little bit. You have to stand up, maybe let the
stand up.
let the let it like flow.
Do
Maybe
jumping
you have
jacks?
to rub it a little bit just so like the wherever you injected it like spreads.
Okay. Like massage it.
Yeah, massage it a little bit.
That makes sense.
It was weird because when I went to take the test, you know, there's some like old dude. He had to grab my dick, and he's like, "Okay, 1, 2, 3." I'm like, okay, this will probably be less painful, just like with diabetes. Like in the hospital, doctor's office, when they prick your finger, give you a shot, it hurts like a lot more than when you do it.
So you never administered it to yourself?
Not yet. I have no reason to. Really.
But you're used to like injecting yourself with needles anyway.
Yeah, but not in the dick.
I get that. I think honestly, like you'll eventually like you could probably find a couple of girls who'd be like super into it and they'll like come really hard at the idea of like, you know, to have sex. Like they gotta like.
I'm not worried about that being even a mental.
I'm just
thing.
saying, like, there will be girls out there who is like, wait, you're telling me.
I don't really think it matters.
They're
as
like,
long
they'll
as
be like,
it works.
they'll be like, wait, you're telling me I have to take this needle with this
If you're that
compound,
stupid,
and inject your penis, and then you get it, and I could just watch it grow hard.
Listen, if you like some girl or some fucking woman, right, and they were like, listen, the only way my pussy's gonna work is if I inject this into my thigh. Are you gonna be like, oh, fucking deal's off? Like, why would that be an issue?
I mean, for the immediate sex, fuck it. If I don't know. I mean, if it's, you know what, it's a complicated situation when it comes to like people's genitals because it's directly tied with their reproductive ability, which literally has a lot to do.
The time it would take for it to kick in is less time than it should take.
Are you still a fertile male? Like, can you get a woman pregnant?
Can't everyone?
No, some people are infertile. Some people
Really?
can't. Yeah, some people can't have kids. It's a sad thing for a lot of people, especially if they want kids and they can't have them.
A small amount of comes, but there's comes.
Okay.
It's not like a huge.
You never
load.
know. Like, there's something called, you never heard of like shooting blanks, like where you ejaculate, semen.
I
But
haven't gotten that tested, but I don't know why that would be a thing. No.
you've gotten someone pregnant before, right?
Yeah.
Yo, you're away from the shot. Can you switch to the stool, please? Like, this is the
No.
second time I asked you.
No, I'm sorry.
All right, third time you have to switch. That's the deal.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
See, I'm a fair individual. I'm willing to give someone a second chance and a third chance, but fourth chance, that's where I draw the line.
I actually have to grab another fat tire ale.
Yeah. Can you grab me another Sapporo?
Yeah.
All right. Go.
Does
Go.
it need to be opened?
No, I'll open it myself. I could do a good job at that. That's just my shit. I'll keep the fort. I'll hold the fort down. Until then, I'm just gonna check to see. Hopefully, there's no comments. Some terrible comments that people have left in my previous experience doing this shit live with certain other people. I mean, which wasn't that big of a deal. I didn't even notice it really until after the fact that it was recorded and streamed. And yeah, it was from this guy who was just straight up fucking dumb, and I didn't really care or mind what he was like saying about me. Some of it did sound like really nasty though, like truly antagonistic to everything I was fucking saying. Oh wow, this guy Brendan is actually taking a piss. He is not just going to get beers like he said he would. Let's see. I want to finish rolling this joint that's in front of me, but that would involve putting the microphone down and attempting to roll it. Now Brendan's done pissing.
He's so fucking mad.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So much piss.
He could have told me that's what he was doing, but he... Yeah, he's talking about how he's diabetic and how he shouldn't have held his piss. But I'm saying, like, if you're going to leave me on the mic, you should have fucking told me. Like, just give me a heads up. That's all I ask. It's not a big deal, right? It's like if you're going to go and take time off to fucking relieve yourself, then you got to give your co-host, your fucking podcast co-host, a heads up. Fucking like, yo, bro, this is what I'm doing. I'm about to go take a piss. Doing shit like that. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Brendan, grab the microphone. Where's the microphone? You put that shit on the floor, you sick fuck.
I'm sorry.
Yo, can you sit on the stool for real though?
No, it's uncomfortable.
It's not. It's actually, I'm sitting on it right now. It's mad comfortable.
No, like, why?
Because you keep moving back further and further back.
God fucking damn it. Fuck, really?
No, I'll give you one more chance because you still have one more chance. You didn't use it up yet. You still have one life left.
For what?
For not like constantly rolling out of the shot.
Okay.
Yeah, you got this.
Yes.
It's like a mini
I'm
challenge.
keeping this fucking chair.
Yeah, sure. That's my cat's chair. Actually, it's not even my chair anymore. He spends more time in it than fucking I do.
I'm bigger than him, so he's not really fighting me on it right now.
Yeah, he doesn't really fight. He's on the fighting type. Just like a big furry little blob. Just chills on the floor all the time. Fucking love this cat though. He's very chill, very affectionate, a little clingy, but you know he's not mean. He's not.
It's special when a cat chooses you, you know? Because they kind of don't have to.
Maybe not. I don't know.
They can just choose to hate you.
Yeah, but I never gave my cat a reason to hate me. I think it's pretty simple in that case. I feel like a lot of people give their cats a reason to hate them. Like they make their cats do stupid shit.
Yeah, but dogs will like automatically love you. Or cats, like you have to earn it.
Dogs might automatically love you, but they're still so needy. You know, like they can't do a lot of shit for themselves. They can't walk themselves. You know, they need your help to go take a shit and a piss. And that's kind of fucked up. You know, like that's like they're imagine if someone told you you can only piss and shit when your owner comes and takes you. Like how would you feel? Right?
But they're okay with it, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, they at least abide by it because they have to.
But that's like kind of one of the reasons why you feel like, yo, no wonder why they die in like 10 years because they're so under so much stress. Meanwhile, they're like beasts of burden. They're not meant to be domesticated. I don't think cats domesticate them damn selves. You know, like
No, dogs definitely domesticated themselves.
No. We invented dogs. We created dogs. Dogs weren't like a direct, like unintentional byproduct of nature. Dogs came about because we as humans like created them. We found some wolves and we've raised them to be all sorts of fucked up different ways, and that's how we have dogs. Dogs are the freaks. They're like mutants by human hands, you know?
But why did cats choose it then?
That's
the best like land predator ever. Why would it be subservient and friends with us?
That's an interesting question. It's like there's a lot of studies, I'm sure, like why would cats act exactly the way we want them to? You know, like that's a very interesting thing. Whereas dogs, we have to force them to act.
If they evolve differently, they could just fuck us up.
Cats?
Yeah.
Maybe. The one thing cats don't have is I saw this in some fucking Netflix thing, but like if cats had opposable thumbs, it would be over for us. You know, if they could open their own cat food, like, you know.
Yeah.
Khajiit
would fuck us up.
No. Well, that just goes to show, you know, if cats did kind of have that ability, that's what would happen to them. They would just end up like Khajiit. They would just be these like subhuman fucking like underdwelling lower class fucking species.
Definitely. That's what I love about those games. It's like, yeah, if there are fucking lizards and cat people, there's gonna be some fucking racism.
Yeah.
There's dark elves, there's high elves, there's fucking Bredens, there's red guards. Surprisingly, the black race has no racism towards it at all in that whole game.
Yeah, because they're just, you know, they're hardy folk. They live.
They're
in their,
sailors.
They live in their.
Yeah.
They live in
They're
their
like
lands.
good people and shit. The orcs are kind of really.
No, it's the white people that hate each other.
The Imperials.
And the Nords.
No, the High Elves. The Nords. Everyone's fucking racist. You play Morrowind, the Dark Elves are the most racist fucking thing ever. Even if you're a Dark Elf and you're not from there, they're like, Enwa.
I hope there's
Which
like.
is their word for like, you fucking Outlander.
I hope there's a fucking Elder Scrolls movie and it's like terrible.
Oh, God, please, no. You know what? I'm just gonna send that bomb over to the Dragon Ball fans, Dragon Ball Z fans. Just watch that.
That was a pretty bad movie, but that's true.
worst thing ever.
I mean, like, it's one thing.
I love fucking with weebs. Whenever I'm like around like a lot of young weebs and working in a place in the past, I'm always just like, oh man. Last night I was just smoking some weed, watching that fucking live action Dragon Ball movie. Oh fuck yeah, bro! And it just makes them like it's like nails on a chalkboard to them.
Yeah, I mean, it was one thing to like completely deviate from like the source material in like very significant ways, but also
Who agreed to act in that movie? What actor would be like, yeah, okay, let's do this? You know, it doesn't make sense.
well, I showed you fucking Steve and Fiona from Shameless. You ever see Shameless?
Nope.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty popular show, and the two initial leads of that show were were fucking Bulma and Goku, which is pretty insane, horrendous actually, but it was very enjoyable when I found that out. I got a really good laugh out of that. I mean, seriously, guys, if you like Shameless, just know that Steve and Fiona were Goku and Bulma in the live-action depiction of Dragon Ball called Dragon Ball Evolution. It was a pile of horse shit, burning horse shit. Like, if someone took a pile of horse shit, put lighter fluid on it, and set it on fire, that's what that movie was. It was that bad.
That's why it's so good to watch sometimes. You're just watching it, you're like, the whole time you're like, it's like cringy.
I think the most frustrating
at the same time.
I think the most frustrating movies are the ones that are just like absolutely terrible, but they're still good movies. You know how there's just movies that are way better than it has any right to be. Like I recently watched this movie.
Lord of the Rings.
No. I recently watched this movie. Right?
Don't say no to that.
No, that's not that's just a good. The source material is too solid. You can't fail with that.
The movie itself, not the source.
Fine,
material.
yeah, it was a good movie. Yeah, I'll admit. But there was this movie called Beowulf, right? It was literally about
never
right.
watched that.
It was about like an alien who crash lands into Earth during Viking times, and he brings with him this like this enemy alien that's like this monstrous being that also crashed, and he was hunting him. And then he gets separated from his home planet. His ship is destroyed. He loses all of his alien like high-tech weapons. So all he has is Viking shit. And I was like, this movie's fucking good. Like, this is actually a good fucking movie. I mean, I read it. I was like, this is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever read. But I saw the movie and I was like, you know what? Like, goddamn, this was not bad. Like, I mean, think about it. This, like, it's interesting in concept. Like, a humanoid alien. He's an alien that looks human, but with advanced tech. Crash lands on Earth, and during Viking times, and they don't know any better. They're just a bunch of people who believe in like pagan gods and shit. And you got this guy who comes from this like probably like high, and he even instantly learns the language with his tech and shit. It was crazy, and it was very cheap.
That movie's about aliens crash landing in Viking times.
Yeah, isn't that nuts? Like, it's not. I mean, yeah, it sounds.
I thought it was like about some like ancient like story.
It was. It still was, except instead of being like
They made it more sci-fi.
they took a legend that's actually
made it sci-fi.
Yes, that's what it really was an alien, and people like told legends about it because
That's kind of what Assassin's Creed does a lot of times.
yes, that's what I thought too. And it's like it's a very interesting way to go about it, is it not? It's like you basically take an old school legend and then you give it like a different twist on the explanation of it and actually enact it in like film and depicted. And I thought that was really fucking cool. I was like, that's really interesting. And it was like it was a B tier movie with cheesy special effects and like shitty everything, shitty acting and everything. But it was still a good movie. And that's why I thought it was like a fucking miracle case. I was like, that's why I said it was better than it had any right to be. I mean, you would watch that, right? Like,
Yeah, I would.
yeah. Oh no, you can't smoke this anymore. You can't handle any more weed.
I can't handle any more weed. That's what he fucking said. You heard that? Give me that fucking shit.
Here, take it.
Cunt. At the end, I'm like in a ball in the corner. I couldn't handle it anymore.
No. That no, and that, no.
I'm a man.
No, what's supposed to
I'm a
happen?
man.
What's supposed to happen is you're supposed to give me that shit, and then the screen goes black, and the narrator goes, "He couldn't handle any more weed," and then it just jumps to go. "Ah!"
Brendan took 36 weeds that night.
That's
Killed
how
his whole family with an axe.
Yo, that's how you make funny writing. Like, you know how like we see funny shit on TV and we understand how comedy works on film. But when it comes to like comedy and literature, that's a completely different beast, right? Like you have to read something funny. It hits you differently than to watch something
I've
funny.
talked to me and JoJo really have a good amount of skits that we really want to do.
Okay, but
really, if I want to do anything artistical, I want to do a fuck you.
No, I just noticed.
I want to have a sketch show. I want to have like a fucking like, you know.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah,
like Monty Python.
Like you're defining it and like pretty compiling it as a show. But what I'm saying is like, you ever read a book or something that's just funny, like a funny novel?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, so there's a difference between like reading funny shit and like seeing funny shit. Right?
Yes. Yeah. Why, it's like baby talk. Why you talk to me like I'm a baby?
No. I was asking because like I don't think about this that much. I don't think about. I don't have.
I want a sketch show. Ow, my eye. Smoke just went in my eye.
No, I was just saying like what we just did. Like that was an example of like what I was saying. How it was like. An example of reading something funny where it's like that you see in quotations is like, give me that shit, I could handle this weed, and then you see like not in quotations, just like written, it's like he couldn't handle more weed, and then it's like, and then it just jumps to like dialogue. It's like, and then
you have to choose when you do a dialogue or silent thing or like something. Yeah. But I would like to do a sketch show really bad, but like you need a cameraman for that. We need a cameraman.
You need actual equipment too. That costs like a lot of money.
So, if anyone wants to do a sketch show, I'm keen.
No, you need more than the camera. You also need like you need the boom mic for the audio and lapel mics like hidden and shit for additional audio. You need multiple cameras for different angles, different shots.
Yeah, of course.
Oh fuck! I mean, I would see. I would love to make like film stuff and stuff like that. It's just.
Eventually, you have to.
It's so much. It's so resource extensive, you know.
Fuck it. Yeah, you get to that point. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I can act. I can do it.
I mean, acting is its own beast too.
I can think of a lot of funny sketches.
You know what
I've been watching that shit my whole life.
You know what this is why I'm saying like I've always
Python, fucking Whitest Kids You Know, Human Giant. You know, like I love that shit. I love fucking sketch shows.
This is why I like
my favorite thing.
This is why I like appreciate comics, because comics is one of the very few forms of visual media that you could like create, publish, and distribute entirely yourself. Comics, like comic books. Like it's you read it, you look at it, you watch scenes unfold and all that shit, and it builds like all the drama and all the tension. And it's just one guy doing all of it, and that's why to me like comics are kind of crazy. It's like an anti-movie, whereas a movie requires like camera guys and equipment and sound guys and engineers and props people and fucking makeup and directors and writers, whereas just comics it's just like all the story told visually all in one.
Yeah, but if you're a good comic and you can like do a really low budget kind of comedy sketch. Like we can do one right here or in the kitchen, you know.
Yeah. Someone's in the kitchen with Brandon. Someone's in the kitchen with Brandon. Someone's in the kitchen with Brandon. I wonder what he's cooking. Well, we got some salmon here. I'm going to put some butter in, toss in some light vegetable seasoning. I'm going to saute it with onions and mushrooms, Yo, are you a butter man or an oil man?
Butter.
Butter, right?
Yeah.
I agree. Butter is better. Butter.
But sometimes you have to use fucking oil. Especially in
honestly-
a restaurant, you're not fucking using butter.
Honestly, when it
Fuck
comes
that.
to potatoes, I like frying.
You're throwing canola oil.
Yeah,
everywhere.
I like frying potatoes in butter and oil than butter.
Yeah, but if you're working high volume, you have to use canola oil.
Yeah, I was gonna say like when it comes to potatoes, I like oil.
Or
than-
fine dining, they give you like bunches of olive oil
yeah.
and truffle oil you have to make.
But when it comes to stuff like curry or like sauces, like cream sauces or something like that, I like using butter. Butter is the wave.
Yeah, if you
Butter is just a better
if you're
natural
cooking
ingredient.
at home.
Yeah. But volume, I guess, like yeah, you're right.
They don't give you good shit.
Well, when I make steak, you've seen the butter I use for steak specifically, the Indian ghee butter. It's like dairy without the dairy.
We should cook something together.
Yeah, what do you want to make? You want to make filet mignon?
We have to both like add into this.
Can you make filet mignon? You said.
Oh man,
I've been thinking. See, ever since you mentioned it, I've been thinking about it. I always see it when I go shopping. I always see it at the supermarket. I'm like, Brendan can make that filet mignon.
Oh, okay. Let's do that. Okay, I'll do that.
We'll get like a lot of butter, and we'll just use a shit ton of fucking butter.
Yeah, I know what to get.
And then we'll take like whole garlic cloves and just chop it in half and stick it in like that pool of butter, and
Yes,
then
you have to fry it for like a minute or two on each side. Then you throw it in the oven
yeah,
for like a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And then you take it out and you butter baste it. You have the
Yeah.
garlic, the rosemary, whatever else you want to put in it.
Basil.
Butter.
steak rub.
And you just over the top, flip it again over the top, and you just sit it. And it's just, it's so bloody and moist in the middle and so flavorful.
All right, let's do it, man. Let's make some filet mignon.
But you have to have like asparagus with garlicky.
Now let's do potatoes. Let's be naughty. Potatoes is naughty.
Potatoes and asparagus. You need to have your protein, your carbs, and your veggies.
Instead of asparagus, could we do carrots?
I know how to do carrots very well because of where I work, but I don't like them.
You don't like carrots? You're not. They're good for your eyes, bro.
I know, but I'll put them on my plate.
They're good for your boobs.
Even
They make
though
your boobs
I
grow.
added like a bunch of garlic and salt to it, I still like. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking carrot. I just don't like carrots that much.
All right, we still got some time. We got time for another cooking story. Talk about the last like complicated thing you cooked while I pee, and I'll see it when I have to fucking edit this thing.
I don't leave me alone. I don't.
You
remember.
left me alone, dude, while you peed. You
Hey,
can't do that
man.
for me.
I don't remember. What did I make? It's mostly just fucking prep and shit.
All right, really talk about when you were in Texas, the crazy thing you cooked in Texas. Seriously, talk about it. No, seriously, you gotta do this for me.
So, I was working at this bar and grill called Hooligans. I had to get my food manager's license. So that means you're allowed to work in a kitchen by yourself, without a manager. But they made us cheat on the test. So they had us sitting there with another server girl, and then they would look up the answers real quick if you didn't know them. And then one day I walked in, and I guess whatever new kid was working in the morning had was drinking like vodka out of a water bottle, and was really fucked up and drunk and slipped and fell and hit his head on the flat top. And when I walked in, there was blood on the flat top, on the knives, on the floor, on the fruits and vegetables, and on the line. And they told me I had to clean up the whole kitchen and then like reopen it.
Damn, Brendan. So is never mind. I I completely forgot what I was going to ask. It's a very witty question, but oh yeah, all right, I
A lot
remembered.
of us get drunk,
What?
but on the job, but you really fucking shouldn't.
What?
Hmm?
What? Drink while cooking?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was gonna ask: is bearded Brendan like the new normal you, or are you ever gonna be clean shaven Brendan again?
Well, I can kind of do whatever I want, right?
Yeah. Do you prefer? Well, I mean, I'm asking your preference since you could easily pull both off, right? Like, what do you like bearded Brendan or clean shaven Brendan?
I'm kind of fucking lazy right now.
Oh, you just like that you can be bearded Brendan and not have to worry.
Sometimes I just want to like be chaotic and just like be like Jim Morrison and just like just get crazy hippie.
You can never grow a Hitler mustache, though. It seems.
Well, I can, but it's not going to be a good experience if I did.
No, you can't do it. No, because you got a part in the middle of it, in the middle of your stash.
You're right.
It's a distinguished.
How did he do it?
Hitler didn't have a part.
He was a real man.
It's like an extra inch to your dick. Like you just that non-part in your mustache.
That motherfucker like getting peed on and shit. I think.
You think so?
That's what they say. I don't know.
You think he was like Donald Trump? Like you think if Hitler and Donald Trump both met in their 20s, like they would have gotten along?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like you think they would have been like, "Hey, what's up, man? I like
Yeah.
what you're about." It's like, "Yeah, I like what you're about too. You got a nice little." Or do you think they would be like too much alike and they'd be like,
if
"I
you're
hate
into
you."
politics that hard in the first place, you're a psychopath.
You think so?
Yeah, you have to be.
What if you really cared about your community?
Just
at
a
first?
normal person just wants to help and like to have a good job.
Yeah.
Maybe take care of their family.
But what
And
about,
most
like-
people have simple? I want to take care of my family. So you work for the city, you get a union job. You know, like normal people get normal fucking jobs.
No, I'm just saying, like, what if there's a case, right, where it's like a person goes to college, they go into social sciences just because, like you said, they naively want to quote unquote help people, right? So they go in there, and then like they come into contact with people who are actually marginalized and disenfranchised in society, and they're spending time around them and shit, and they realize they're like, oh shit, I've had it really easy. And then they become really passionate about it because they're trying to compensate for their own like privileged upbringing as like a social sciences college graduate, fucking upstart, liberal minded fucking kid, you know,
Yeah,
like
once
that's like who like Bernie Sanders
met people
was.
who like tried to get into that, and it was like, oh my god, it's all fucked up.
Yeah.
And then left.
Yeah. And then they get really like annoying about it, you know, like really truly insufferable. But it's all good. I'm not one to argue. Like,
I don't think you can really like work within the system.
what?
Change it.
You can't? You think so?
You can't. No. It's fucked. It's done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, like when I think about it, I think the idea of being able to fix the system, to be able to help everyone, that's also kind of exerting your own form of control. Because like you got to be like really
So you're saying it like within itself is fascist?
I mean, you got to be naive to ever think like this is going to work out if I don't at least this is all going to work out without having to take out at least one or two guys that fundamentally disagree with the way I'm doing this and uniting everything and making everything work.
By the way, these are just ramblings and they are not sound political arguments.
I'm not talking about political arguments. I'm talking
Just
pretty
talking to the audience.
I'm just being very frank, okay? Like, listen, if you're at a point where, like, you have really good intentions, you want to do good for everyone, and you have a really solid idea, a solid plan to get everyone on board working towards the same goal together and to make life better for everyone, but there's one or two members of the party that are just very, very, very disagreeable. And, like, you know deep down, everything would work out so much better if those two just went away. If those two just disappeared, everything would just be so.
Now we're playing Assassin's Creed again.
I'm only asking what like in that situation and you had power, like what would you do? Like would you really
Assassinate them?
Exactly. And this is how these things happen. Like it's never because like someone wakes up one day and say, "Oh, I'm just going to go and assassinate my enemies because I feel like it and it's fun." It's like no, these things happen because the people who are commissioning these acts like truly believe these things have to happen. You know, like taking a life is one of the most unnatural things you could ever do in the human experience, in my opinion, unless you're fundamentally broken, which is like...
It seems pretty natural looking at history.
In history, yeah, but after a sense of like... For example, here's the thing. You're right. When it comes to the act of taking life of a stranger who like may or may not wish you harm, it seems pretty easy. But when it comes to like, say, like life that you birth, life that you know is connected to you, life that you know is related to you, life that you know you share community with and food with and resources with, suddenly they're not that easy to kill. Suddenly they have an identity. So it's really not a question of like, is our human nature really truly just violent? No, the violence clearly just stems from like lack of community. Truly, the answer is, if you want to get rid of the violence, is to promote that sense of like unity through community, right? And the thing is, like, we can't all do that at once because that'd be fucked up. That would sacrifice too much of our own individuality. We'd become like this weird blobby hive mind, which nobody wants. You know, we want differences on a fundamental level. We want to embrace conflict. We want there to be world wars, you know, like we want this shit on a part of us, at least, you know, like we all want these differences to exist, to fight over, to conflict over, because that is like in a sense like a foundation for our proof of individuality. Like those are the factors that build up to me saying I am Chris or you're Brendan and no one else is us. You know, it's just factors like that's why subconsciously we uphold those paradigms which cause so much suffering and pain and violence, is because deep down we know without those, like, we would be way less of an individual. We need those things. We need to embrace conflict and all that stuff. And also, like, those things, I also think that it also kind of accelerates and propels our development, our evolution. It gives us directive to actually develop and like want to do better. I mean, nobody who's doing good ever wants to do better unless you're sick. You know, everyone who's actually doing good is just thinking to themselves, like, I don't want to put any more effort. I just want to set something up where it's just going to do better for me. You know, I want to give someone who's smarter than me enough money to just run my business better than me, and that's it. And like, that's really what it boils down to. So at that point, it's truly the mutant. It's the freak that just always wants to evolve and always wants to develop for their own sake. And those are the people you got to watch out for, in my opinion.
I have really bad ADHD, and I didn't pick up any of that.
Oh, that's fine. Either way, it was all picked up, and it's recorded.
Yeah.
And yeah, you could always watch it later on. You know, it's all there. It's in the archives, Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Unless someone deleted it from the archives. Perhaps they deleted it from the archives. That's one promise I have to make to the viewers: is I can't delete shit. Anyway, are we past our time?
You can't delete shit.
What?
Oh, I see. That's a promise?
I try not to delete shit. I don't want to. I mean, this seems like...
We usually don't. Yeah, we're good with that.
Yeah. But I think like as our respective roles develop and we keep up with this podcast, eventually it's not just going to be like two random dudes talking into a mic. Eventually it's going to be two random dudes who do stuff talking into a mic.
I do things.
Exactly. That's what we do. We raise questions.
We do stuff.
We're question farmers.
Stuff farmers.
Question farmers. We raise questions.
And do stuff.
We're question farmers and stuff rapists.
We're gonna stuff the fuck out of you. We're stuff rapist farmers.
All right, we're gonna end this right now. Good night. Good night.
You're gonna get raped.